Oddventure is an indie game that was released earlier this year by a studio named Infamous Rabbit. It's heavily inspired by Earthbound, a little game you've probably never heard of. It was funded on Kickstarter around 4 years ago and managed to reach 2 of its stretch goals. It promised to deliver a classic turn-based combat experience with a twist, and a soundtrack described with words such as dope and climactic. Comedic tone is also described with words such as bittersweet and dark. All these points are according to the Steam page. Does it deliver on these claims, though? Let's find out. The combat is pretty basic. You have attacks, skills, and a defense button. What's unique is the system that I'll call the mood system. Each one of your party members' moods will change depending on what actions the enemies or the party takes. Certain skills will make party members happy or sad depending on the skill or action you use. If you make a party member sad enough, they will skip their turn and won't be able to attack until something raises their mood. If they become too happy, they will not be able to use certain skills or any depending on the party member. I think it's a neat concept that adds a layer of strategy to the game, because you need to find a good balance between keeping your party members happy while also not too happy. The soundtrack is pretty decent. It fits the tone and atmosphere of the game quite well, and there are some tracks I think are pretty good. I wouldn't describe it as dope or climactic, as the developers described it on the store page, though. A little variety in the music would definitely benefit the game a lot, because it gets a little repetitive listening to the same few tracks over and over and over every time you enter a battle. Sure, when more content is added, the soundtrack will be expanded a lot, and older tracks will be updated a little bit too, I hope. The humor is pretty funny, I think, at least. I know comedy is incredibly subjective, and some might not laugh at all because, it's a little dark and morbid. I mean, for heaven's sakes, the first cutscene of the game shows an enemy eating an innocent squirrel in one nasty chomp, which, I think this dark and grim tone was very intentional, because the target audience of this game is probably fans of video games like Earthbound or similar RPGs like Lisa, stuff like that. Earthbound is full of dark and sometimes bizarre and black humor throughout the entire game. One moment in Oddventure that really sticks out to me is when you first receive Bonzo as a party member. It's better if I show you the dialogue rather than explain it, because I don't want to spoil everything, so... Oddventure is a pretty decent game. It technically isn't finished though, which that's why I was a little easy on this game. The main reason I made this review is to share a really fun and obscure title that RPG fans might like. It's pretty short, so if you don't have a lot of time or you have an office job, it's pretty good. I do think the price tag is a little steep for the game, because it's only about 3 hours long in its current state. If the game is on sale, you might want to pick it up if you're looking for a small game to play. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.